It's time for Mike Detective, Unlicensed and Uninsured Private Eye. Episode 1. When all you have is a hammer, every problem looks like a jail.
The day started off like an overbaked cookie, crummy as all hell. It was the kind of day that pokes you while you're sleeping to see if you're still alive, and then you wake up and say, ouch, and then you can never get back to sleep. It all started when my girlfriend poked me while I was sleeping to see if I was still alive. Ouch, I said, and then I couldn't get back to sleep. So I stepped into the shower, but my landlord had turned off the hot water. I tried to call him, but the phone company had turned the phone off. So I decided to drive to the phone company, but my car had been repossessed. Yep, it was one of those days. At least I had my trusty old dog Dash to comfort me, except even Dash died during the night. I found that out when I poked him, and he didn't say ouch. He only said woof. So, with little other choice, I began the long walk to work. The weather was like the film, It's a Mad, 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 Mad World. Overcast. I subscribe to Entertainment Weekly, so I know a little about the film business. Needless to say, by the time I got to the office, my mood was more foul than a chicken outside the third baseline. First thing I did was ring up my landlord to complain about the hot water. Look, Sal, I don't understand. I already paid you the rent for the first month and the last month. What more do you want from me? All the months in between? Sal, cut me a break here. A client. Sal, I gotta make like a guy who addresses a famous 18th century composer and call you Bach. The door opened, and in walked one of the most gorgeous dames I had ever seen. The kind of girl who had great tits and a great ass, and looked hot because of them.
Are you Mike Detective, Private Eye?
What does the sign on the door say?
Mick Detective, Privet. Why?
Yeah, I gotta get some E's added in there. You'd think because they're the most common letter they'd be cheaper, but that's how they get ya. So, how about this weather we've been having? It reminds me of a signature on a broken leg. Overcast.
Look, I'm here on business. I'm not here to bullshit.
Wow, you're spewing me some filth out of that hole in the center of your face.
You think that's filthy? You should see what comes out of the hole in the center of my butt.
Keep yapping, little puppy. Maybe I'll put a leash on you.
Maybe I'll chew through the leash.
Maybe I'll use a metal leash.
Maybe I'm a cyborg dog with razor-sharp teeth who was sent here from the future to kill you and can easily chew through metal.
Maybe I'll... Wait, is that true?
Which part? No, of course not. None of it's true.
Phew. Okay, where were we?
My name is Stephanie Client. I want to hire you for a job.
That's fine, but I'll need to see some of that green stuff.
If you insist.
Yeah, no, not that. Put that away. I meant money, toots.
Money's no object. My sister is missing. This is a recent photo of her.
This is a photo from Splash Mountain at Disneyland.
She's the one in the front row, flashing the camera. I haven't seen her in 3 days. She's married to a rich and powerful man who savagely beats her. I should mention it's Kelsey Grammer. And I'm afraid he may have gone too far.
I'll take the case.
Thank God.
Don't bring him into it. It's only Tuesday. I traditionally thank God on Fridays. Now, just so you're aware, I'm completely unlicensed and uninsured, so you are really putting your credit on the line by hiring me.
That's fine.
I charge $200 a day plus expenses.
What kind of expenses?
Well, for instance, I might need to buy a book called How to Investigate Disappearances, if such a book exists. Things like that.
That's all fine. Just find my sister.
I guarantee I will, or my name isn't Mick Detective. She walked out of the room, using that pretty ass I mentioned earlier to propel herself forward. I felt like my dick had been kicked up into my mouth, making me throw up from having a dick in my mouth. As I watched her hail a taxi from the window above, I realized things were finally looking up for Mike Detective, unlicensed and
Get in the car, toots.
Mike, help me! Help!
Looks like that pretty ass I mentioned needs some saving.
Will Mike Detective save Stephanie Client's pretty ass? What dangers lie in store for him as he goes up against the evil Kelsey Grammer? Tune in for the next installment of Mike Detective, Unlicensed and Uninsured Private Eye.
I'm working on it.
It's time for Mike Detective, Unlicensed and Uninsured Private Eye. Episode 2. The Hazy Blade of Winter.
Wouldn't you know it? I finally meet the girl of my dreams, and it turns out I wasn't dreaming. I was awake, and she gets kidnapped right in front of my stupid, undreaming eyes. If it were a dream, I could have turned into Superman or a dragon or something cool, but instead, I'm just Mike Detective, not a person who's currently dreaming. The dame is Stephanie Client, who just became the first person to hire me in months. But right after she did, just like a scene out of Taken, she was taken. I rushed down to my parking spot and reached for my keys, but just then I remembered my car was like Linda Blair in Exorcist 2, repossessed. Fortunately, I got a glimpse of the make and model of the car, and I even made out part of the license plate. And so I went to my informant. If there was something to be known, he was the guy to know it. And much like Louise Fletcher in The Exorcist 2, his name was Dr. Gene Tuskin. I waited for him in his examination room at his private practice.
Oh, hello, Mike. Usually if a patient is going to visit me, he puts on a robe.
I'm not here for a checkup, Dr. Gene.
Then why did you take off all of your clothes?
I needed some air on my balls. Now look, Doc, a girl got taken.
Like that movie? You know the one.
Exactly, and I need to track down the car. I've got the make and model as well as a partial on the license plate.
Well, I am a car expert, in addition to being a family physician and informant, so you've come to the right woman.
What?
Man. Sorry, I always get the two confused. Just ask my wife? Anyway, what's the info?
The car was a white Toyota Corolla, and I think the license plate had a 3 in it.
Sure, I know someone who drives a white Toyota Corolla, with maybe a 3 in the license plate. But it'll cost you.
Cost me what?
$20 or your firstborn child?
I'm kinda short on cash right now, Doc.
Okay, jerk off into this cup and we'll make a child with it.
That's not a cup, Doc. That's a funnel leading into your dirty mouth.
Well, I need some way to transport the semen to the petri dish, don't I?
4 hours later, I'd given the doc everything I had, and he gave me everything he had. An address to a mansion on the other side of town. A mansion belonging to one K. Grammer. Should have known he'd be mixed up in this, especially since Stephanie had warned me about him and there were no other suspects. I drove up to the mansion and saw a white Toyota Corolla with the license plate 333-3333. I knew it. I made my way around back and looked in through a window. You'd think I was a carpenter because you'd never believe what I saw. Stephanie was bound and gagged, and the 2 goons had thrown her into the back of the car were looming over her.
You're gonna tell us where we can find what we need.
Yeah, or our boss ain't gonna be happy. It's gonna be like the Kelsey Grammer Dead Show in here. He had a show for a while called the Kelsey Grammer Sketch Show. Paul F. Tompkins was on it?
Oh, I like him.
Okay, we've worked her over enough. Let's take a TV break. Frasier is on.
The goons left the room. I opened the window and made my way over to Stephanie.
Mike Detective, I knew you'd find me the minute I was taken.
Like that movie.
Yes, but I didn't know if you'd seen it, so I didn't know if you'd recognize what was happening.
Yeah, I saw it. They were showing it in the in-store monitor at Blockbuster once, so I stood there and watched the entire thing. Saved me the rental fee, assholes.
No wonder those assholes are going out of business. The minute we get out of here, please promise me you'll take me to the Blockbuster. I've been meaning to see Down Periscope.
Just like someone who looked at the calendar on the morning of September 11th, 2001 would have said, it's a date.
Great, let's get out of here.
It's those thugs who took you. Let's get out of here.
I just said that.
Not so fast, tough guy. The boss will be mighty glad that his plan worked. We captured you fair and square.
It might be fair, but it's certainly not square.
Sure it is. Square as in nerd. And speaking of stupid nerds, I'm gonna fire this gun at one. In just 1 second. Will the goon fire the gun? Will the gun have real bullets in it? If so, will the goon have good enough aim to hit Mike Detective? And even if he hits him, will it be a kill shot, or will it just wing him? The answers to these questions, and no other questions, next time on Mike Detective.
That's how I pronounce it.
It's time for Mike Detective. Unlicensed and Uninsured Private Eye. Episode 3. The Dying Game.
Life is a lot like a Japanese dealer at a casino in Torrance. Every once in a while it squints at you funny and deals you a couple of jokers. Not sure why they don't take those out of the deck. But now I have 2 jokers pointing guns at me just as sure as my name is Mike Detective. It all started when Stephanie Client hired me to find her missing sister. She got kidnapped herself, and while I was trying to save her, these two goons had the drop on me. This wasn't the first time I stared down the barrel of a gun, but the last time it happened, I was 9, and it was a squirt gun. By the way, I'm still 9. I was born on a leap day, so I've technically only had 9 birthdays. But unlike last time, after this, I wouldn't be wet with water. I'd be wet with blood.
I'm gonna fire this gun in just 1 second.
Mike, do something!
Wait! At least allow me the honor of killing myself.
It's the least we can do. All right, here's my gun.
No thanks. I always wanted to go out from autoerotic asphyxiation.
Okay, take off all your clothes.
No problem.
Now here's some rope.
Thanks, you're a real doll.
Oh no, he tied us up with rope!
Haha! And now down the laundry chute you go!
Oh, Mike, you did it. And look at that heat you're packing.
Yeah, my wiener's abnormally small, but hot. Careful, it could burn you. It's like a soldering iron.
Do you mind if I play with it? I have gloves. I know we should get out of here, but we must have a couple minutes before anyone comes down here to check on us.
Fine, but do you mind if I put on a shirt while you do it? I'm ashamed of my upper torso. She worked me over like Liam Neeson worked over the bad guys in that movie, Taken. As she did, I realized I'd only seen 2 movies in my whole life. The Exorcist 2 and that movie, Taken. 2 pretty solid choices if I do say so myself. I vowed that this would be the year that I'd see a 3rd movie, and it would be Your Highness. That Red Band trailer that appeared exclusively on IGN.com offered a pretty hot view of Natalie Portman's pre-pregnant ass. I should have mentioned that I need to rely on fantasies like that because Stephanie was not a very attractive girl. Sure, she had a nice ass and nice tits, but otherwise her face was kinda gross. I hadn't mentioned that yet, and I know you can't see her because this is all audio, so you know what I'm getting at. Oh, that feels so good.
Hold it right there.
The coppers!
It's the cops!
That's what I said.
We got word that a so-so looking girl was taken.
Go on.
And so you're under arrest for kidnapping. And if there's some law that says it's illegal to force women to have sex with you, you're under arrest for that one, too. Come on, pal, let's go to the station.
And just like that, they took me down to the station where I was convicted of kidnapping and receiving a forcible jerk-off sesh. By the time I got out 6 months later, I had a scraggly beard, just like Tom Hanks did when he was promoting The Green Mile because he was filming Castaway at the same time. I've never seen either movie, but I remember watching those interviews. Even though she had a so-so face, I was ready to see Stephanie again. Also, I think she had hired me to find a missing relative or something. I couldn't remember. Luckily, right as I walked out of the jail, I saw her waiting for me right there on the sidewalk. Hey, babe.
Who are you?
It's me. You probably don't recognize me with this scraggly beard. Do you have any electric clippers in your purse?
Of course. Here you go.
Now do you recognize me?
I don't know anyone with a Fu Manchu.
Okay, let me shave a little more.
Those mutton chops are very stylish and in right now, but I still don't recognize you.
Damn it. Okay, how about now?
I don't know why you'd think I'd suddenly recognize you by buzzing off your pubes.
As Mark Maron would say, WTF, it's me, Mike Detective.
Mister, I've never seen you before in my life.
Will Stephanie get her shit together and remember Mike Detective? And even if she does she like his recent attempt at manscaping? And whatever happened to that whole thing with the evil Kelsey Grammer? Tune in next time for Mike Detective.
That's my name.
It's time for Mike Detective, Unlicensed and Uninsured Private Eye. Episode 4, You Wet Your Knife.
Memory is a tricky thing. If you don't remember to use it every day, you get Alzheimer's. And then one day you realize you're pantsless in the middle of the Circle K while some Indian guy calls the 911 of phone numbers. 911. Well, today is the 911 of remembering things for Stephanie Client, because even though she was supposed to never forget, she did. And now I'm standing right in front of her, and her brain remains like my friend Marvin Trower's initials. Empty.
You better let me go, mister.
You got it all wrong. Much like a rancher who hires a couple of employees during the busy season, I got 2 hands, and they're both holding on tight until you remember me.
Take a powder, creep, before I call a flatfoot.
Stephanie, use your stupid female brain, woman. You gotta remember.
Stephanie? I'm not Stephanie. Why, Stephanie is my twin sister's name. I'm Tawny. Tawny Nacho.
Why don't you have the same last name as Stephanie?
That's my maiden name. I hyphenated. I'm actually Nacho Client.
Why don't we change that? I'll take the case.
Huh?
Tell me what's going on, baby.
Oh, Mike, I ain't missing, but Stephanie is.
This is fucking trippy.
She hired another detective to find me after you got thrown in stir. After he located me, and quite easily, I should tell you, in an exciting tale I don't quite have time to go into now, he and Stephanie started a romantic relationship.
You're lying.
Smell my fingers and tell me I am.
Oh, no, it's true. It's all true. Stephanie, no!
There.
Where?
I'll show you. Don't step on it. It fell out of your eye and landed on the ground right there.
Stupid contact lens always comes out when I cry tears of rage. Now, is that story of yours gonna end anytime soon, or should I plan on being incredibly bored for the rest of my life?
A couple days ago, Stephanie showed up at my house, with both eyes looking a lot like Stevie Wonder.
Blind?
No, black. Her boyfriend started roughing her up, see? She was so scared to tell anyone, because he's an evil, violent pig of a man.
Let me guess. Kelsey Grammer.
Out of all possible answers, the one you provided is a lot like Anthony Hopkins' new movie, The Right.
I don't like those billboards. Say, why don't I help you nab this asshole free of charge? You don't want to mess around with these cops. They're more crooked than cops who are on the take. Besides, Stephanie was my client before she got taken.
You mean like that movie? The Taking of Pelham 123?
I don't think that's a real movie. Come on, I need you to take me somewhere. Luckily, I remembered where he lived, right there at 1122 Kelsey Grammer Avenue. We jimmied the door and took a look around, but sometime during the 6 months I'd been stewing, it had been cleaned out. His 5 Emmys? Gone. His Sideshow Bob costume? Gone. His ex-wife's irritable bowel syndrome medication? Taken. This house, it used to be filled with things, like possessions, but now it's as empty as a crack pipe passed around on payday.
You know what I think? I think just like Blues Traveler, you're giving me the runaround. And just like Aerosmith, I think you're crazy.
Hey, those are both great songs by great bands, but I'm here to tell you, Toots, this isn't 1995.
Hey, it's always 1995 somewhere.
No, it's not. Shh, wait a minute. You hear that? Shh, do you hear that?
It's probably just some rusty old pipes.
Damn it, I'm not talking about your singing voice.
How did you know? La la la!
One day I'm gonna train that pretty little mouth of yours to make all the right noises. Noises like kiss, kiss, and smooch, smooch. But until then, keep it like the first word of the phrase shut up. Shut.
I hear it now. The knocking seems to be coming from underneath the floorboards.
We'll never figure it out. Let's go home.
No, wait. The knock is in a strange pattern. It sounds like Samuel Morse's code.
Hold on. I learned that code the summer I spent at Samuel Morse Summer Camp for Boys. Let's see if I can remember it. Yeah? Okay. It's your sister, and she says she's trapped in a secret basement.
Will Mike and Tawny find the secret basement? And how will they find it? And will one of them go to the bathroom during this adventure? And if so, can we listen in? I love hearing juicy farts.
Wait a second.
Join us next time for another episode of Mike Detective.
Okay, they will.
It's time for Mike Detective, Unlicensed and Uninsured Private Eye. Episode 5, The Postman Always Stings Twice, with special guest star Andy Richter.
Hi, everybody.
Life is like a contractor you've hired to remodel your bathroom. Sometimes he works for 3 days straight, sometimes you don't see him for 2 weeks, but at the end of it, you get a brand new bathroom and you can finally shit again. You see how life is like that. Stupid. Speaking of stupid, what a stupid situation I had found myself in. Tawny Nacho has me looking for her missing sister at Kelsey Grammer's empty mansion. Or so we thought. Because unlike Eddie Vedder, who once posited that there was no code, there was a code. Morse code to be exact, and the sound of it was coming from a secret basement. Stephanie says to open the secret passageway, I should go over to this baby grand piano and play 3 bars of Mozart's Sonata in C major.
Do you know how to play that?
Sonata, one of my favorites, but I'll give it a whirl. A secret water slide. Luckily, I brought my bathing suit.
Mike, you're naked!
Sorry, I just remembered. This is my birthday suit.
Well, this water slide must lead to the basement where my sister is being held. It looks dangerous, and we don't have life jackets.
Well then, I guess I'll need to hold my arms around you real tight, won't I? So in case you drown, I can use your dead body as a flotation device.
Oh, Mike, promise me if I die, you'll cremate me and sprinkle my ashes over the Grand Canyon.
I don't believe in cremation, but I'll gladly throw your corpse over the side. Now, pinch your nose, baby, so the water doesn't get in.
Pinch my nose? But then, how do I smell?
Terrible. Now let's go! Down we went, and for the next 4 hours we slipped and slided through an incredible signature thrill ride. It went through every room in the house, through Kelsey Grammer's 27 bathrooms with its 52 his and hers toilets, through his hyperbolic chamber room, and right through his dogfighting pit. Basically all the rooms that most houses have. What a merry ride. Oh, and by the way, if you were wondering, yeah, we got very wet. We didn't mind. Getting wet is part of what made it so fun. Finally, at the very end, there was an almost 90-degree dead drop that led to... That was amazing! Do you want to go back up and do it again?
First of all, yes, but only after we find my sister, so she can experience the wet and wild time we just had. Stephanie? Stephanie, are you down here?
Over here.
Who said that?
Me! The guy who was knocking.
You were knocking? But why did you say that Stephanie is down here?
Because I am. My name is Stephen. Stephen E. Newman. No relation to Alfred. Well, I guess he is my cousin, so I shouldn't have said that.
Shut the fuck up! Who are you?
I'm a prisoner. Kelsey Grammer has kept me down here in solitary confinement for 15 years. I don't know about anything that's happened in the world since 1996. And I only know it's been 15 years because I've made a mark on my penis for each year I've been down here. See?
I can only see one mark on there.
Well, that's because it's not erect. But if I think of something sexy from 1996, it'll grow. Let me see. What about the Rachel haircut? Wah wah wee wah.
Wait, are you quoting Borat?
Who?
Well, this is useless. We're looking for Stephanie Client.
Oh, I knew her. Was she that girl with the Rachel haircut?
No.
Oh, yeah, I did hear something about her. You know, I can hear everything that goes on in this house through these pipes. Apparently, Kelsey Grammer is keeping her imprisoned out at the racetrack.
The racetrack! She loved pigs!
Oh, I'm sorry. The horse racetrack.
Next to the pig one? I guess she would go there sometimes, too.
Thanks for the info. I guess we'll free you now.
Free me? Why would you free me? I got a pretty sweet deal here. Total darkness, nothing to read, and all the rats I can gently suffocate and eat. The only thing I miss is my wife.
Why do you keep quoting Borat?
I don't know who you're talking about. And if you don't stop accusing me of plagiarizing, I'm going to sue you, like those frat guys sued Sacha Baron Cohen and Larry Charles.
After one more super fun trip down that water slide, we got in Tawny's Ford Festiva and took off for the racetrack. We were barreling down the 101 freeway when all of a sudden...
Mike, the car! It's careening out of control!
Will Tawny and Mike be able to fix their flat tire successfully? Oh, by the way, they actually survived the crash and just have to deal with a flat tire. Spoiler alert. But will they be able to change the flat tire? Of course they will. Fixing a flat tire is easy when you have a man to help. But what will happen when they get to the racetrack? Will the jockeys make fun of the donut tire on the Festiva? Find out next time on another episode of Mike Detective.
Donuts.
The following episode of Mike Detective was recorded prior to the untimely death this week of Gary Moore, guitarist for Thin Lizzy. We regret any references that may come across as slightly insensitive, as that was not our intention.
It's time for Mike Detective, Unlicensed and Uninsured Private Eye, Episode 6, Ace Ventura, Mike Detective, with special guest star Weird Al Yankovic.
Hello, buy my new book, When I Grow Up, available now on HarperCollins.
Sometimes it just feels good to be alive. After a near-death experience like the one Tawny Nacho and I just had, it feels good to breathe the sweet, sweet air. The same air that Thin Lizzy guitarist Gary Moore breathes in every morning of every day. Yes, much like Thin Lizzy guitarist Gary Moore would probably say right this very second, it feels good to be alive. I got the feeling that death was still quite a ways off for me, just as it assuredly must be for Thin Lizzy guitarist Gary Moore, who will never ever die of drug-related causes. But enough about Thin Lizzy guitarist Gary Moore and the wonderful life that he has ahead of him. This is about me, Mike Detective. We got word that Tawny's sister was being held at the racetrack. But on the way there, some goon in another car shot out our tire with a pop gun. I swore that when I got my hands on whoever was responsible, they would be the exact opposite of Thin Lizzy guitarist Gary Moore, a dead man. But for now, I had to deal with a car careening out of control.
Mike, do something!
I'm going to steer the car into that pillow factory.
Mike, are you all right?
Of course I am. Much like any factory, the walls are made out of the product they manufacture.
Oh, yes. I remember that from when I went to the old spaghetti factory. Man, that place was delicious.
And structurally unsound. Come on, let's go to the racetrack.
Luckily, this pillow factory is only 2 steps away from the racetrack.
And they're off. A brown horse is winning. Another horse with a stripe is also really fast. This other horse, I wish I could describe it. It's got a long face, is gaining on them. Coming up on that one is, it's fast. I think it might be a car. No. A motorcycle? No. Oh, it's another horse. In fact, the rest of the field appears to all be horses, ladies and gentlemen. And one of the brown ones has just taken the lead. What's that? Use their names? Ladies and gentlemen, I am not good at this.
George's racetrack was well known for being a cesspool, brimming over with shady characters, all looking to make a quick buck. Everything about the place seemed like it came from another time period. The decor looked like it was left over from the Great Depression. The horses were as old as Prohibition, and even the toilets were shaped like dinosaurs. They were so hard to sit on, they left you with a mighty sore ass. You get it? Mighty sore ass. Anyway, the guy who owned the place owed me a favor. So me and Tawny burst into his office in the middle of the 6th race. George Racetrack, it's been a while.
Mike Detective, don't you ever knock?
I wanted to cash in on that favor you owe me, so I opened without knocking. Consider us square. But now I have to ask you for another favor.
You're like Geddy Lee, always wanting something for nothing. Well, why don't you make like Geddy Lee and rush out of here?
Why did he owe you a favor, Mike?
Because in one of my previous adventures, I found a potion that makes you immortal, and I gave that potion to his cousin, Thin Lizzy guitarist Gary Moore.
He'll never die.
Listen up, George. A little bird told me that a girl was being held against her will here, and that little bird is a crane. Fraser Crane.
Heard you were looking for him. Why don't you lay off for a spell?
I'm not interested in spelling. I'm interested in grammar.
Okay. Geez, you really get an angry tone in your voice. Look, I can't tell you anything, but if I were you, I'd go check out the basement of the clubhouse.
Sounds good. Maybe you and I could do that together this Sunday. Really make a day out of it. Pack a nice picnic lunch, maybe some sunscreen, but today I'm trying to find a missing girl.
Oh, well in that case, go over to the stables. She's in the 4th stall on the left.
Thanks. I really owe you one, George.
It's fine. Just close the door on your way out.
All right, I will. As a favor to you. We're back to even, buddy.
Fair enough.
That conversation lasted for hours, as you may not have been able to tell from the sped-up recording we just played for you. So, by the time we got down to the stable, the night was as black as Sidney Poitier's mood when he found out his daughter Sydney had been cast in a shitty Quentin Tarantino movie. When we got to the stables, you'd never guess who's coming to dinner. Haha, I'm just kidding. I meant to say you'd think I'm a carpenter because you'd never guess what I saw. Have I used that one before? It's my best one, so I don't mind using it again. Anyway, you might think I was the most popular horror franchise of all time because you'd never guess what I saw.
Nothing. There's nothing here. Nothing but dumb horses.
Shh. Someone's coming. And there's someone with him. And there's someone with them. A total of 3 people are coming. Let me do that math. Yeah, that guy plus that guy. Yep, that's 3 people. Here they come. Why don't you hide under that horse over there, and I'll hide under this one. If you're worried you might talk, stick that horse's cock in your mouth. I'll do the same with this one right... The goons walked in, but I couldn't see them from my vantage point, mainly because I had horse balls right in my face. Luckily, however, I could hear them loud and clear.
Hey, boss, should we worry about these 2 people blowing those horses in the next stall over?
Leave 'em be. Who among us has not blown a horsecock? Besides, we got better things to do, like getting Mrs. Big Mouth over here to talk. Listen up, you're gonna sing, or we're gonna shoot you in the head. You'll be the opposite of Thin Lizzy guitarist Gary Moore. Dead.
I can't understand you with that horsecock in your mouth.
Sorry. It must be Stephanie. They're trying to get her to tell Kelsey Grammer's secrets. We should do something, Mike.
Shh! Shut the fuck up. I want to hear this.
Not gonna talk, eh? You got such a big mouth, not sure why you ain't using it for talking. Well then, if you're not gonna talk, we don't have much use for you, do we?
Stephanie! No!
Will the goons turn their guns on Mike and Tawny? Is Stephanie Client dead, unlike Thin Lizzy guitarist Gary Moore? Is Thin Lizzy guitarist Gary Moore a Highlander who will never die? And who is coming to dinner? Find out next time on Mike Detective.
Rest in peace, Thin Lizzy guitarist Gary Moore. I hope you're making God laugh.
It's time for Mike Detective, Unlicensed and Uninsured Private Eye, Episode 7. Ooh, 7 is a place on Earth.
Sometimes solving mysteries is as easy as it is to make a woman come. Almost impossible. And sometimes solving mysteries is as hard as my cock when I'm having a sexual intercourse, which is to say, not at all. This particular case was somewhere in between. Tawny Nacho and I were at the horse racetrack, looking for a missing sister, hiding out in the stall when two goons brought in someone we couldn't see and shot her. Speaking of horses, if the person they shot turned out to be her sister, Tawny's emotional state would soon be like how a rapper references the way a horse walks. Distraught.
If you're not gonna talk, we don't have much use for you.
Stephanie, no!
I did it. I killed that horse. I killed a horse.
Hey, you two. We're jumping out of the next stall right here. You killed a what?
I thought you killed my sister, but you just shot a horse?
Yeah, we're scientists. We were trying to prove that horses can talk.
But this one wouldn't, even though her name was Mrs. Big Mouth. So we shot her.
Yeah, and now we take her to the glue factory.
You know, the last time we went there, my hand got stuck knocking on the door.
Wait a second. We're not interested in your very logical and humane-sounding experiments. We're just looking for a girl by the name of Stephanie Client.
Oh yeah, she was here earlier, but a couple of goons took her somewhere. To a, what do you call it? An illicit establishment that dispenses alcoholic beverages?
Speakeasy?
Okay. They took her to an illicit establishment that dispenses alcoholic beverages.
Oh, a hooch bar. Do you know the name of the joint?
Sorry, pal. Can't help you.
Looks like Tawny and I were rolling snake eyes. I knew there was only one man who could help me find the name of this bar, my informant / family physician / auto expert, Dr. Gene Tuskin.
Sure, Mike, I know what bar he was talking about. It's called Sorry Pal Can't Help You.
Damn it, why aren't I a better listener?
Say, while you're here, Mike, do you mind if I check out that lump in your shorts?
Do you mean the cancerous knot on my testicles?
Well, I was referring to your boner, but maybe I should operate on that thing too.
And then Dr. Gene opened up my ballsack like a kid on Christmas morning. But instead of finding presents under this knotty pine, what he found was the gift of cancer. He mumbled something to me about having 2 weeks to, I don't know, something that rhymes with live. But who has time for all that shit? I had a missing girl to find.
Are you sure it's around here, Mike?
Let's ask this guy. Hey, buddy, you know where I can find a local bar? I'm blanking on the name.
Sorry, pal, can't help you?
That's all right. Thanks anyway. Oh, there it is, right in front of us. Let's head in.
Password?
Okay, I have an idea. Is it password?
No.
ABCDE 1 2 3 4.
Sorry.
Okay, let's look around in our line of vision for some kind of clue.
Doorknob.
Sidewalk.
Brick in building.
Dumpster?
Homeless guy?
Street. Let's go with street. Is the password street?
I'm sorry, your password must contain at least 8 characters, including 1 number.
Street 69.
Dumpster 42.
Sorry. Would you like a hint emailed to you?
Sure. What was the name of your first pet growing up? Oh yeah, I had a dog named Mike. Is the password Mike?
You got it.
Your dog was named Mike?
Sure was, and I grew up on Detective Avenue, so my porn name is pretty funny sounding. It's Mike Detective. P.S. I dabble in porn acting.
Mike, this speakeasy makes me feel uneasy. Look on the stage. Are those Can-Can girls?
I don't know. I can't see without my glasses.
What is this, the King's Speech?
Never heard of it, but good luck at the Oscars, boys.
What's that strange music they're dancing to?
I'm not too into music, but I believe it's either Do the Bartman or maybe Party Man from Prince's Batman soundtrack. Whichever one it is of those two, it's a classic that time will never forget.
Look, up there on the stage.
Gladly. Which one?
The girl over there in the corner.
No, I meant which boob.
Mike, it's as plain as a nose on her face, as well as the rest of her face. It's my twin sister, Stephanie.
Why is Stephanie stripping on stage? Will she shake what her mama gave her, or what someone else gave her? And how did we ever get the rights to play Do the Bartman? We had to pay Bart Simpson $20,000. That's how. Find out the answers to the other questions next time on Mike Detective.
I did the Bartman. Why shouldn't you?
It's time for Mike Detective, Unlicensed and Uninsured Private Eye, Episode 8, Take My Death Away.
There's a saying in both the automotive industry and the PI biz. Sometimes all it takes is a lucky break. And maybe one of these days I'll get one. But you know what? I don't need them because I work hard. Yeah, I put in the effort. Sure, it may seem like I only work for about 5 minutes every week, but that's a quality 5 minutes. I dare you to find as many laughs in 1.5 episodes of 2.5 Men. Haters gotta hate. Anyway, I'd been hired by Tawny Nacho to find her missing twin sister, Stephanie Client. And now, here at this exotic strip club, Stephanie Client was standing right in front of me, as naked as the day she was born, January 23rd, 1997. 14-year-old poon.
Stephanie, I see you finally grew pubic hair.
Boy, this recent revelation about both of your ages is really causing some skins-like controversy. Watch out, advertisers. Just try to shut us down, FCC.
My body is going through so many changes. As a matter of fact, I just received my first visit from my monthly friend.
Santa Claus.
He brought me blood.
Why does he only bring me blood in December?
But Stephanie, why are you in this bar, naked as a jaybird?
I can see what's going on here. First, they imprison you in Kelsey Grammer's basement dungeon. Then they keep you in a horse stall. Now they're making you dance for money like a whore.
No, this is just something I do for fun. They let me out for an hour each week to do whatever I want. But after an hour, it's back with the horses. Horses? No, horses. I can't believe you followed me all the way here, Tawny. And Mike, darling, you too?
Speaking of you two, as they once said, I will follow. And so we did. And the experience has been unforgettable. Fire. Now, get on your boots, because we're leaving, with or without you.
I think we should leave with her.
Tawny's car has room for 2 passengers, which was a side project of theirs.
Quiet, you two. I'm being watched. See that huge meathead over there looking at us? That's my boss. If he sees you two fixing to bust me out of here, he won't hesitate to turn off the dark for all 3 of us by throwing us off the top of this building.
Well, I don't want tomorrow's headline to read, Boy Falls from the Sky, so what should we do?
Just pretend you're my clients, and I'll give you a lap dance. Yes, there would be nothing suspicious about giving a lap dance to a husband and wife, where the wife is obviously your identical twin. That plan is just like that Jamie Lee Curtis movie. Perfect!
Yes, I like Trading Places a lot, too. I mean, I've never seen it, but I like its tomato meter rating.
Shh! Here, let me dance for you. Just keep your voices down.
Oh, yeah.
I'd love to bust you out of here. I mean, I love your bustier.
Oh, fuck. This is nice. Yeah, start rubbing on your sister.
Nice. Gee, your boss is walking away, leaving that exit over there unguarded. I mean, nice G-string.
Oh, yeah. Put your 14-year-old ass up in her face. Yeah, just like that. Holy shit, this is really turning me on.
Okay, he's turned his back for a second. On the count of 3. I mean, On the count of 3.
Hold on. Mike Detective does the counting around here. Okay, on the count of 3. Counting up from -17. -17. -16. -15. -14. -13. -12. -11. -10. -9. -8. -7. -6. -5. -4. -3. -2. -1. 0. 1. 2. 3.
Stop right there!
Oh no, he turned back around.
What's he doing with the butt of that gun?
Ow!
How'd they track her down?
Bring him over here.
Of all the luck.
The boss just told me where we're taking them.
Taken? Like that movie?
Would it be funny if we switched their clothes?
Should we be concerned that it's been 2 months that they haven't woken up yet?
But I don't know what to do with those tossed salads and scrambled eggs.
Sure enough, we'd gotten Chumbawamba'd, i.e. we got knocked down. But unlike Chumbawamba, we neither got up again, nor did we have a whiskey drink. And also, unlike Chumbawamba, who would live on to spread their unique brand of anarcho-punk for decades to come, we didn't know if we'd live or die. We were out for what seemed like lifetimes. Lifetime's original movie entitled 2 Months, that is. It seemed like we were out for 2 months. But eventually, like a man with a couple of dicks, we came to.
Mike, you're awake.
Oh, hey babe, where's Tawny?
She's been taken.
Taken? I've never heard of that.
Oh no, you must have a rare form of taken amnesia.
You're right. I have no recollection of that particular movie. Good to see Exorcist 2 is still knocking around up there in the old noggin, though.
Thank God. I guess it was Tawny they wanted all along. Of course. That was their plan the entire time.
Huh? Sure. Whatevs.
Wait, what's happened? They swapped our clothes while we were unconscious.
You're right. I'm wearing your fedora, trench coat, and rumpled suit, and you're wearing my frilly tank top, skinny jeans that let you see everything, and silly bands. Hey, where are we?
I don't know, but the way this room's moving from side to side, I'm feeling awfully seasick.
I can't seasick without my glasses. Come on, let's get out of here through this door.
Oh my God, I see where we are now.
Just like the Lonely Island, we're on a boat. But unlike the Lonely Island, I just jizzed in my pants.
A boat? Will Mike and Stephanie ever figure out what the fuck is going on? Who has taken Tawny, and why? And will I fall off the side of this boat? Nope. Find out the other answers on the next episode of Mike Detective.
I liked Space Olympics.
It's time for Mike Detective, Unlicensed and Uninsured Private Eye. Episode 9, There's No Such Thing as a Free Punch. With special guest, Patton Oswalt.
Every PI knows that at some point his number will come up. And once it does, he'll be able to place his order with those Jews at the deli. Well, it looked like my number had finally been called because this case was a load of baloney, thinly sliced. Stephanie Klein and I found ourselves stranded in the middle of the ocean on a strange boat. Once we got out of this, I promised myself that I would find myself a new deli, one where I could worship cows instead of eating them. But such a place surely doesn't exist.
What are we going to do, Mike?
I have an idea. Let's jump over the side and flail around in the water, screaming for help. Someone is bound to come.
Why would we do that? We don't even know if we're in danger yet.
I hate boats. It has to do with my childhood. You see, when I was growing up, my family had a lot of hardships.
You poor, poor boy.
I just said that. In fact, my family was so poor we would sometimes have to eat our own farts just to stay alive.
Oh, Mike, when we get out of this predicament, you'll never go hungry again. I'm going to treat you to an all-you-can-eat buffet of kisses.
Sounds good, but no woman pays for Mike Detective. I'm treating you.
But I invited you.
I'm the man. It's expected of me. Let's just split it.
Oh, it's great when two people can laugh.
Laughter is truly the best med school.
Let's just take a look around, see what we can find.
Not so fast.
A creepy man!
I wouldn't do that if I were you.
You're not me. Nobody is. Not even me. So that leaves me with one question. Who are me? I mean, who are you?
I'll never tell.
Quit quoting your favorite Brittany Murphy lines and tell me who you are.
I'll never reveal my identity.
Just like Justin Bieber, never say never. And just like Sean Connery, never say never again. And just like John Cusack, say anything.
My identity must remain like orchestral maneuvers in the dark. Secret. But unlike OMD, as they are more commonly known, if you leave, you'll be leaving this life for good.
What the fuck are you trying to say?
I don't really know. You see, I'm crazy. Simply daffy. And I'm jumping off this boat right now.
Who was that guy?
His name was Jerry, and he was the sweetest, kindest man I ever knew. Sure, he was crazy, and would stow away on people's boats, and then act malevolent, and then attempt suicide. But he was still more of a hero to me than any 9/11 firefighter will ever be.
Then who the fuck are you?
I'm also named Jerry, but spelled differently like the curl. Jerry Boat Captain. I'm the captain of this boat. Kelsey Grammer hired me to bring the two of you out here in the middle of nowhere and leave you alone on this boat during a typhoon. This shitty old boat would be sure to sink, killing you both while I'd make my getaway safely on a life raft.
Luckily, the weather is like the score in that Scarlett Johansson movie. Perfect.
Yeah, I love trading places. Oh my god, my trading place's amnesia is cured.
The weather may be safe for now, but the typhoon is approaching. Look at the waters. They're just like the broccoli Dana Carvey used to cut. Choppy. This boat is doomed to sink within this hour.
Oh no, but we must be a mile away from shore as the gull flies.
Not a gull mile, a nautical mile.
Don't worry, I just can't do it. I'm not evil enough. So, to make up for the fact that I would even consider doing such a nefarious deed, I've destroyed the life raft, and am now going to kill myself.
Oh my god! He shot himself in the head as he jumped overboard! The typhoon is starting, and we have no idea which direction will lead us back to dry land.
Look over there, there's a bird with a star on its crest.
Where?
Over there on the starboard side.
Oh yeah, there's a bunch of them over there.
That's why I called it the starboard side. There aren't any on the other side, just a bunch of boxes of wine. That's why I call that side the Beaujolais side.
I'm curious. What are they whistling, do you suppose?
I don't need to suppose shit. Ever since I saved the Bird King's nephew in one of my previous adventures, the case of Murder Most Foul, F-O-U-L, I understand birds perfectly. Sounds like it's saying, tweet, 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 tweet.
What is this, Twitter?
Speaking of which, you can follow me at Mike Detective.
Mike, now's not the time for multi-platform social networking. Now's the time for translating bird language into English language.
No, you don't understand. It is communicating in English. Birds have a very limited vocabulary. Just tweet, tweet, and occasionally fuck and cunt. Instead, they mostly communicate via sign language. That's why they flap their wings so much.
I thought that was to make them fly.
No, the jet engines in their beaks make them fly.
Boy, you sure know a lot about birds.
If you like how much I know about birds, you should hear everything I know about bees. For instance, they's got yellow and black butts.
So what's that star-crested bird saying?
He's saying he recognizes me as a hero to the bird empire, and as a reward, if we follow him, he'll lead us to shore.
Do you know how to steer the boat?
Of course. Growing up, I had many friendships. Now, let's go! I grabbed the wheel, faster than it takes molasses to drip down a tree trunk. There must have been a lot of old men snoring because the rain really started to come down. And did you know that rain is when God jerks off onto our heads? It's a fact. Anyway, I followed that bird just like Dorothy followed the yellow brick road, singing the whole way. Follow the yellow brick road. Follow the yellow brick road. Follow, follow, follow.
Mike, what is that?
Sorry, it's a habit I picked up while starring in a high school production of The Sound of Music.
Well, throw it overboard. It looks ridiculous on you.
Yes, I played Sister Margareta. Wait, look up ahead. Land ho!
What'd you call me?
Look out, up ahead, rocks!
Oh no, the ship is heading right for them.
Did Mike and Stephanie survive the boat crash? I hope so, because if not, there won't be an episode next week, and I get paid scale for this. Iguana scales, that is, which I find delicious. Lunchtime, everybody. Oh, and find out what fate befalls Mike and Stephanie next week on Mike Detective.
What you call me?
It's time for Mike Detective, Unlicensed and Uninsured Private Eye, Episode 10. Now I slay me down to Leap, with special guest star Zach Galifianakis.
Hello, everyone.
A suave private dick like myself enjoys a lot of things on the rocks. A stiff drink, a swimsuit model like Kate Moss. But one thing I never expected to be on the rocks was a boat I happened to be steering. You see, Stephanie Client and I were trying to outrun Mother Nature's most violent tantrum, a typhoon, when our vessel crashed right into Mother Nature's cheese grater, the Jagged Rocks. Except this wasn't cheese it was grating, it was Mother Nature's flesh armor, aka the only uniform you'll need in the upcoming race wars, our epidermis, also known as skin. Stephanie, wake up!
Mike, are you all right?
It appears so. Seems like we were thrown from the wreckage of our boat right onto the soft sand of this deserted island. But the Jagged Rocks must have shredded our clothes to tatters.
Mike, I can tell you removed both our clothes after you woke up. You didn't even try to bury them. You just threw them up into that coconut tree.
Those are someone else's clothes. Some naked perverts. He must be spying on us.
Then why are they dripping wet?
From his cum?
Oh, well. I guess there are worse things that could happen to a girl than to be naked, stuck on a deserted island with a strapping, handsome man like yourself. You didn't try anything else while I was unconscious, did you?
I didn't try. I succeeded. Twice. Nay, thrice.
Well, we need to do exactly what Sam Raimi did in 1998. Make a simple plan for how to get off this island.
You guys talking about getting out of here?
Who goes there? Mike, I'm frightened.
Why, it's a naked island, weirdo. What's your name?
Tim Island is my name. I was marooned here 5 years ago, which is ironic because my favorite band before it happened was Maroon 5. Being stranded, I never got to hear what was surely their superior follow-up albums. It won't be soon before long and Hands All Over. Let alone their energetic duet with Rihanna, which languished at number 51 on the U.S. charts.
For a guy trapped on a desert island, you sure know a lot about them.
Well, the New York Times washes up here every morning.
That newspaper with all the Maroon 5 record reviews?
You poor, tormented bastard. I can't imagine only being able to read about Maroon 5's music.
It's like a blind man, only having a description of lead singer Adam Levine's beautiful face.
Well, nice talking to you. Later.
Wait. What kind of host would I be if I didn't invite you to where I call home?
The promise of food and shelter sounded okay by Stephanie and me, so off we went, like a confused ballroom dancer, just blindly following this strange man's lead. He took us through the underbrush, up the cliffs, right through the center of the island. We trekked for several days, never sleeping, stopping only for water breaks, to pee in the bushes, and to pick berries off the bushes to eat. These berries taste weird, like asparagus.
Almost there, just 5 more days.
Have to stop. So tired.
Look, I feel like we've been going around in circles. Are you sure you know where you're going?
I have a confession to make. I'm not really taking you to my cave. I have been leading you in circles. I'm trying to wear you out so I can overpower you.
After a confession like that, I feel my only recourse is to raise my fist to strike. Wah! Too drained to lift my arms, dropping to the ground in exhaustion.
That's right. You're just like a motorcycle, too tired. And just like Maroon 5, you're finding it harder to breathe.
Mike, feel like I could sleep for days.
You rotten wise apple. When I wake up, I'm gonna turn your face into tapioca pudding. Yawn.
Good night, my children. Until the nonce, when I will give you my wake-up call.
After a brief 15-minute disco nap, Stephanie and I awoke to find ourselves
tied up back to back. But what's this unusual container we're sitting in, Mike?
Well, it's ovular, seems to be cast iron, filled with water. I'd say we're sitting in a spaceship. Now, get ready for blast-off.
It's not a spaceship. Filled with water, eh? He must be planning to cook us and eat us alive. This is just like that movie Hannibal. It's something I've never seen before.
I hope you find my giant oversized cauldron quite comfy, my dear. It's the perfect size for cooking humans, so I'm quite lucky it just washed up on shore. With nothing but coconut trees on the island, we get so very hungry for some fresh meat. Don't we, Wilson?
Who's he talking to, a volleyball or something?
That's not a volleyball. He's standing next to a picket fence, and there's a man behind it, and I can't see the man's face.
A man named Wilson behind a picket fence and you can't see his face. This all sounds familiar and hilarious to me.
Wilson, why aren't you answering me? What are you doing back there?
I'm tending my tulips, Tim.
A little late in the year for that, isn't it?
Well, I'm forcing them.
How? By squeezing their bulbs? I'm so very sorry. You seem like nice people, but like all nice people, you're probably also nice and delicious. I've always heard you were hard-boiled, Mike Detective. Now we're going to put that to the test.
Will Mike and Stephanie figure a way out of this conniving cannibal's cauldron? Or will Tim Island literally cook their goose? Oh, they brought a goose with them. I should have told you that. It's in Mike's backpack. And why, if they were so exhausted, didn't Mike and Stephanie sleep more? Find out right now on Mike Detective.
I couldn't sleep, so I thought I'd come out here and squeeze my apples.
Shouldn't you be doing that in private? Let me just say for the recording, don't stop recording. I just read those lines. I don't know what in context they are, so if my acting seems off, it's not my fault. Put that at the end of this goddamn thing.
It's time for Mike Detective, Unlicensed and Uninsured Private Eye. Episode 11, Lucky Number Slevin, with special guest stars John Hamm.
Hi, Mad Men.
And Rob Corddry.
Hi, Mad Men also.
They say no man is an island, but they don't say no woman is an island because we've all seen Rosie O'Donnell. Anyway, Stephanie Client and I found ourselves shipwrecked on this island where a man was living. And while he might have been fine and he might have been young, this man was also a cannibal. We were like a baseball game going into extra innings, all tied up. It looked like our hopes of finding Stephanie's missing sister Tawny were just about well done.
Mike, how are we going to get out of here? We're doomed!
Don't worry, I can cut through the ropes with this Bowie knife I smuggled in here.
How did you sneak it in?
I hid it inside this David Bowie CD I brought along. It's one of my 5 Desert Island discs.
Ooh, what a great conversation starter. What would mine be? I guess all 5 discs of Stephen King's Tommyknockers audiobook.
Well, then what book would you bring to a desert island?
The novelization of Avatar.
Then what movie would you bring?
The Da Vinci Code.
Did you ever read that book?
I don't want to after seeing that movie. What a stinker.
Look out! Our captor is coming back.
I've always heard you were hard-boiled, Mike Detective. Now we're going to put that to the test.
This situation is like an Angelina Jolie movie. It needs a little more salt! And much like Iron Man 2, it needs a little less pepper.
Come on, Mike. Let's make like a tree and fill our insides with termites.
Huh?
I mean, let's leave. Look, there's an aircraft passing by overhead. Can you tell what kind it is?
It's like the way Broccoli used to describe Dana Carvey. A chopper.
Lucky for us, it was passing overhead right when we needed to be rescued. Here, I'll try to get his attention.
Luckily, when Stephanie unzipped her sexy duffel canvas bag, it got the helicopter pilot's attention, and he dropped us a rope ladder. It was like a demented game of chutes and ladders, only with no chutes and one ladder that you climb up. Once aboard the helicopter, the pilot let us know a terrible secret.
Good thing I saw you folks. I'm on my way to fly over Kelsey Grammer's house. You see, I work for TMZ, the most zebras. They're upset at Kelsey Grammer for wearing a pimp coat made of zebra fur over his tuxedo today, so I'm going to disrupt his wedding with my noisy chopper blades.
Kelsey Grammer's getting married today? But to whom?
Some not-so-hot chick named Tawny Nacho. Say, you look a lot like her, you know. Not so hot.
That fiend!
Oh, yeah. It's been a lot like that Pretender song, the talk of the town. As soon as he collected the life insurance on his dead wife, Stephanie, who was lost at sea the other day, he announced his engagement to her sister and took out a life insurance policy on her that pays out double if she dies within 24 hours of being married. The Los Angeles Times called it the least suspicious series of events in history. Oh, also, 3 days ago, Kelsey Grammer bought the Los Angeles Times.
Does this mean what I think it means?
Yeah. Unlike Paul, print isn't dead. But like Paul, it opens this Friday.
I'm not going to see that. I've only seen 2 movies, Trading Places and Exorcist II.
Your taken amnesia is still in full effect, and the cause is unknown.
I might see Rango, though. It looks like a surprise 4-quadrant hit. I love those. Now, fly as fast as you can to that wedding, and there's an extra 20 in it for you if you run all the red lights.
But there aren't any red lights up in this...
Okay, an extra 100. If we don't get there to stop the wedding, I'll be real mad, man.
That sucker just gave me $100 just for doing what I do best, tugging on the joystick in my whirlybird. Life was pretty good as a helicopter pilot, especially once I tapped into the zebra market. I started living on Easy Street. Elm Street. I live on 1122 Elm Street. The thing people don't know about zebras is that they're rich, mainly because they get residuals from Michael Jackson's Black and White. Anytime someone so much as hums it, every zebra in the world gets $1,000. I tell you where that money comes from if it wasn't so obvious that it would insult your intelligence. And the other thing people don't know about zebras is that they can't walk, so they constantly need helicopters. That's where I come in. That's right, me, John Hamm. Larry, helicopter pilot. Anyway, I was really enjoying this ride until I was interrupted by this asshole.
Hey, can't you get there any faster?
Just like the Stone Temple pilots, I'm going as fast as I can. And I am a pilot, so that makes sense.
Okay, sure, it makes total sense, but when's this bird gonna touch down?
Well, we got a few minutes yet, but if you want to see what's going on with the wedding, I can just flip on the TV. It's like Huey Lewis when he broke up with his band. It's all over the news.
And our round-the-clock coverage of the wedding between Kelsey Grammer and Tawny Nacho continues. It's being called the Wedding of the Millennium, which we all know is what Will Smith successfully dubbed this 1,000-year period.
1,000-year period. Reminds me of my ex-wife. Her name was Willennium.
We now cut into the ceremony, already in progress.
If anyone objects to the union between these two souls, speak now or forever hold your peace.
We have to get down there!
We're still 2 minutes away!
Since no one objected, in fact the only sound I heard was that of a far-off helicopter, I now pronounce you Moon and Wolf. I'm sorry, guess my pronouncement was mispronounced. A moon marrying a wolf. Can you imagine what that would be like? I imagine it would be a real howl. Once a month, the wife would be a real beast to live with. Sounds like my ex-wife. Hey, Kelsey, you should meet my ex-wife. I bet you two have a lot in common. You both make a convincing beast. Her name is Nicholas Holt.
If this priest keeps being hilarious instead of marrying them, maybe we'll get there in time.
Well, enough jokes. I now pronounce you man and wife.
Oh, no. We're like a guy who swallowed a hammer. We're too late.
Are Mike and Stephanie like a guy who swallowed a hammer? Tool 8? I didn't even get that one when Scott pitched it. Can they save Tawny from the beastly clutches of Kelsey Grammer? If you're thinking about being my baby, does it matter if you're black or white? Find out next time on Mike Detective.
It matters to me.
It's time for Father Mick Detective, ordained and consecrated Catholic priest. Episode 1, Honor Thy Father and His Brother. With your star, Father Mick Detective.
Don't think God has a sense of humor? Just look at the platypus. The day started off like the taste of a communion wafer, truly heavenly. It was the kind of day where God pokes you while you're sleeping to provide you with the peace of mind that everything's going to be okay. Too bad it didn't stay that way. It all started at the building where I'm employed, where I've served my congregation for the last 9 years, and also an adjective to describe Jennifer Love Hewitt's body, parish. The weather was like the film It's a Mad, 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 Mad World, truly heavenly. Needless to say, by the time I got to the office, my mood was more fine than the Three Stooges' Larry. That is, until I checked my answering machine, where an ominous message was waiting for me.
Hello, Father Mick. If you're getting this message, it means I've dialed the phone correctly and your answering machine is plugged in. Say, do me a favor, would you? Right now I'm like a luggage repairman. I'm working on an important case. On the off chance something happens to me and I can't come into the studio to record the podcast this week, just in case I go missing for a few days, could you check in on my friend, Tawny Nacho? She might be like a person replacing their Beatles CDs with the new remasters. She might be in need of help.
Father Mick?
What does this sign on the door say, sister?
Mick Detective, Priest.
It sure does. Because I can afford all the ease I want on my priest salary. Now, what is it?
I was passing by and couldn't help but overhear that strange message. Who is that man, and why does he use all those strange similes?
It's like Charlie Chaplin once said, simile and the world similes with you. His name is Mike Detective, but around my house he goes by a different name, Brother.
He's your brother? But you're my father. Wouldn't that make him my uncle? We are family.
Quiet, Sister Sledge. I have to think. It would be easy to ignore this call, but I can't be like Judas, can I? Who betrayed Jesus with a kiss? Sure, I kissed Mike a couple of times. We were young, wanted to learn how, and didn't have any cousins or pillows. And any shame boners that may have popped up were just natural side effects of one tongue meeting another. But this is all beside the point. I have to help him.
Is there anything I can do, Father Mick?
Just what you always do, sister. Pray.
Oh, that reminds me. I've never done that. Not once since I joined up. Kind of keeps slipping my mind.
Okay. Well, you're fired. Now, you might be wondering why my brother Mike would trust a simple priest with a dangerous task like this. Well, I'm sure you're like another famous Christopher, not the saint with whom we're all familiar, but the ex-SNL star turned director. You've guessed that I'm not exactly what I seem. I served 3 tours in the war as an acting backdoor pilot in the Air Force. Then, I was specially trained by the CIA in wet work. I can kill a man just by looking at him, as long as I followed up by shooting at him or throwing a rock at his head. Mike knew I had turned my back on that life a long time ago. So if he asked, it must have been important. I, like the entire world, had heard about the Kelsey Grammer Tawny Nacho wedding happening that afternoon, and I intended to crash it like Owen Wilson and Vince Vaughn would, in the least humorous way possible.
Excuse me, Father. You must be like Jack, Sawyer, and Vincent. Lost.
None are lost, my son. Those who walk in the footsteps of the Lord.
This is a restricted area. No admittance.
My son, I once took a vow to turn the other cheek, but now I realize it was a butt cheek I must turn. Yours. As I kick your fucking ass. No! I'll complete 12 Hail Marys for that one. Good thing the championship football game is next week. I knew a priest would be the last thing anyone expected to see at a wedding. And one thing I learned in the armed forces was how to masterfully camouflage myself. Who is the one person that no one dares confront? The gay wedding planner, of course, for fear of incurring his acerbic gay wrath. So, like a dog with opposable thumbs, I took off my collar and traded it in for a half shirt and leg warmers. What's up, queer buckets? Honey, those eyelashes could be used to start a NASCAR race. Who applied your makeup? Pablo Picasso? Girl, if you were at a barn dance and somebody yelled hoedown, you would drop to the floor. Hey, you can't spell gay without a Y. Can't I be sitting on Javier Bardem's face right now? Now, who's got a cock that needs sucking? Maybe I can fit it in to my fucking mouth. Right, fagtaculars?
I declare this wedding planner to be appropriately gay.
Thank you. Now someone might tell me where the bride is? More like the bride of Frankenstein. Am I right?
The Stein wedding is next door. And yes, Frank is as excited to get hitched as he was to have the middle name Norman. But if you're looking for Tawny Nacho, she's waiting for the priest to arrive so she can get married.
A priest. Of course. One quick change later and I was back in my priest costume. I know some priests call it a uniform, but it's just so stupid looking. Reminds me of Halloween. I've long led the movement for priests to be able to wear Hawaiian shirts, shorts, and bitchin' Brian Bosworth-style sunglasses, so we could look cool and kids would trust us more. Anyway, I finally found the real priest, who was just about to go on. Excuse me, Father.
Yes, Father? Wait a minute. 2 fathers? What is this, a Paul Reiser and Greg Evigan comedy?
Blessed are the peacemakers, a.k.a. George Clooney and Nicole Kidman. After killing 2 more men, I made my way up the altar and started the ceremony. The result you heard last week. I did my best to postpone the wedding, hoping my brother would rush in and save the day. Well, enough jokes. I now pronounce you man and wife. And I probably could have stalled for another couple of minutes, especially because I have a chunk on Burger King napkin dispensers that I'm still trying to work out. But the chances of my brother being on that nearby helicopter were so minuscule, like 85%, that I didn't think it was worth it. But one thing I knew was that if my brother did show up, I would be right there behind him, ready to back him up every step of the way.
Oh! The priest! He's been shot!
I'm like a hippie t-shirt in arts and crafts class. Dying. Wait, actually, more like a priest in church. Holy.
Who shot Father Mick? Will the response to this episode be positive enough to save him? Or will listeners desert the show in droves? Will Rob Hubel shoot a TV show next week that gets in the way of his real job, recording dumb puns for this show? Find out next week on Mike Detective.
Boy, TV money is so much better than podcast money, but the pussy is much worse.
It's time for Mike Detective, Unlicensed and Uninsured Private Eye, Episode 12, Marjorie Bernstein's My Brother the Pest, with special guest, Adam Scott.
Hi.
They say that 50% of marriages end in divorce, but they don't tell you that the other 50% end in death. Me? I don't want to go through either. That's why if I ever meet the Grim Reaper, I'm making him sign a prenup, just like I did with my ex-wife Millennium. And then when he turns his back, I'm going to push him over and steal his scythe, just like I did with my ex-wife Millennium. Stephanie Klein and I were in a helicopter on the way to stop the wedding of Kelsey Grammer and Stephanie's sister, Tawny Nacho Client. But just like Peter Dinklage, when he entered a marathon, time was running short.
Well, enough jokes. I now pronounce you man and wife.
Oh no, we're like a guy who swallowed a hammer. We're too late.
Maybe not. Set us down over here.
Okay, we're on the ground. Let's make our way to the ceremony.
Unfortunately, the entrance is like Bones and Harmony. There are thugs right in the middle of it.
Hey, this wedding is invite only.
That's okay. I think I have my invitation right here. No, wait. Here it is in my other pocket.
This all seems to be in order. Please enjoy yourself.
Where did you get that fake wedding invitation?
During those 20 minutes you were taking that massive dump in the helicopter, I used the pilot's laptop to whip up a little something on Photoshop.
I didn't know you had graphic design skills.
Well, I'm part Pueblo Indian, so I've always been kind of skilled with Adobe.
Look, there's Kelsey Grammer and Tawny. They're at the part where you kiss the bride.
Ugh, gross.
We are too late.
I don't think so. Stop the wedding. Stop the wedding.
Mike, why did you just shoot the priest?
Sorry, I was just trying to get everyone's attention. I guess I should aim my gun up in the air rather than at the priest's butt. Sorry, brother. I mean, father. Father.
It's okay, brother. I mean, stranger. I'm just gonna go to the hospital now and get someone to look at this gaping hole in my butt. And then if I have time, I'll also get someone to look at the bullet wound. I still got it. Later, y'all.
What's going on here?
Tawny! Stephanie, you're too late!
Not so fast. Is there a judge here?
I'm a judge. Judge Lance Ito. And no, I'm not the one you're thinking of. Unless you're thinking of the one who presided over the O.J. Simpson trial, in which case, yep, that's me.
Judge Ito, isn't it true that it's illegal in the state of California to be married to 2 women at once?
It's true.
Then it may interest you to know that Kelsey Grammer is already married to Stephanie Client, who, contrary to popular opinion, is still alive. Just like Thin Lizzy guitarist Gary Moore surely is.
You're right. Ito declares this marriage null.
That's no big deal.
And void.
Oh Shocker! This polygamous marriage is just like Big Love, over for good. However, unlike Big Love, Chloe Sevigny has never complained to the AV Club about the way this is written.
Well, I should go. Me and my entire family have dancing lessons today.
Dancing Itos, eh? That gives me an idea.
Mike, they had Dancing Itos on The Tonight Show with Jay Leno 17 years ago.
Sorry, babe, but just like 21 Jump Street, I stopped watching when Johnny left.
Here's some TV trivia. Did you know that at first they were planning on killing Richard Grieco on that show?
Wow, 21 Jump Street would have been so different.
Not on 21 Jump Street, on The Tonight Show. Oh, Stephanie, how I missed your TV trivia, Tawny, and how I missed your homemade nachos that you always carry around with you everywhere you go. It's how I got my nickname. Here, have some.
So, Kelsey Grammer, here we are, face to face at last. You must be pretty mad at me for foiling your plan.
Yeah, maybe.
Although that's a pretty nice zebra fur pimp coat. If I could describe it in 2 words, they would be...
quite stylish.
Yeah, that's exactly the description I was looking for. Hey, Kelsey, what type of food would you have served at the reception anyway?
Tossed salads and scrambled eggs.
That sounds normal. What kind of music would have been playing?
The blues.
That seems like an odd choice for a wedding.
One thing still bothers me. If Kelsey Grammer just wanted to murder me and my sister for our money, then why did he go to so much trouble?
Stephanie, much like an iceberg or my penis, if you look down right now, you're only seeing the tip. Kelsey Grammer's plan was much more nefarious than that. Shall I explain it to them, Kelsey, or would you like to? It's your choice.
What is a boy to do?
All right, maybe I should just do it.
Mike, you've had Kelsey Grammer's plan figured out from the start? You're a regular Sherlock homeboy.
Sherlock homeboy? Is that a reference to that episode of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air? Geez, Stephanie, get some more modern references. That's from last millennium.
Sorry.
But yes, I had the entire thing figured out right from the start. I just wanted to see how it would unfold. It all began the moment you made like Stuart Murdoch and stepped into my office, baby. I recognized you the moment I saw you. Your late father, Edward Mail Client, or as he was more commonly known, email client, was the richest man in America. After all, he invented email, and after he died, his vast fortune was split 50-50 between you and your sister.
That's true. That's true.
I also knew that it was you, Stephanie Client, who was married to Kelsey Grammer, and not your sister. So the moment you walked in my door and lied to me, telling me that your sister was married to Kelsey Grammer and had gone missing, I knew you were setting me up. And when those goons conveniently took you away, right outside my office window, my suspicions were confirmed. But I went along with it, just for the thrill of it all.
I'm so sorry, Mike, but it's true. Kelsey made me do it. He said he'd kill Tawny if I didn't.
I wasn't sure why Kelsey Grammer wanted me involved at first. After all, he had the perfect scheme. Marry each of the client sisters one at a time, murder them, and inherit their entire savings. Reconsolidating the client fortune would make him the richest man in the world. So why involve a private eye who's just going to make a mess of things? After all, he had plenty of opportunities to kill both of you, but he kept you alive so that I would come after you, thus giving him chance after chance to kill me as well. And try to kill me he did. But no matter who he sent, whether it was a cannibal, a suicidal boat captain, or a series of anonymous goons with remarkably similar voices, I always escaped with my life, thanks to my quick wits, my quick hits, and my quick shits. By the way, if this were a movie, the picture would be cutting back to scenes of all these things from the past while the audio of my explanation plays over them. But this isn't a movie. It's real life, and so the question remains, why would Kelsey Grammer be so intent on killing me, Merc Detective?
Because he's crazy?
Because he's sexy?
Because he's cool?
No, because he's not Kelsey Grammer at all. He's my arch nemesis, Mike Villain.
He took off his Kelsey Grammer mask.
Excellent detective work, brother.
Will Mike Detective and Mike Villain battle to the death? Will Tawny get to hear more of Stephanie's TV trivia? Who was the first TV couple to share a bed? Find out on the next episode of Mike Detective.
I'm pretty sure it was Johnny and Mary Kay Stearns. But what do I know?
It's time for Mike Detective, Unlicensed and Uninsured Private Eye, Episode 13. The penultimate is mightier than the sword, with special guest Andrew Daly as Mike Villain.
Excellent detective work, brother.
A wise man once said, he ain't heavy, he's my brother. What a fucking moron. The average human male weighs 190 pounds. So unless it was an elephant singing about his baby brother the ant, that shit is heavy as the acid trip I've been on this entire adventure. Anyway, my brother, Mike Villain, who weighs 86 pounds, not that bad, was standing right in front of me. I hadn't seen him since the last time he tried to kill me. And now that I had foiled his plot to marry and murder the Klein sisters, would he turn this wedding into a life divorce for me and the girls?
Oh my God, Mike, he's got a gun!
Drop your weapon, Mike Detective.
Why, so you can use your gun to shoot my gun, thus breaking it? I paid good money for it, brother.
Shut up!
Mike, you got clobbered in the head.
Oh, I feel worse than Liam Neeson's character Brian Mills did after his daughter was kidnapped in that movie, Taken.
That blow to the head must have reversed your Taken amnesia.
And not just that. Taken, Exorcist 1, Norbit, they're all coming back to me, everything I've ever seen. So many movies. I've wasted my life.
Don't worry, brother. Soon that wasted life will be over.
Over? Like the end of Norbit, where Kate and Norbit buy the orphanage where they grew up and get married under the tree where they once played as children?
More like the end of The Sixth Sense, where we find out you're a ghost!
Hey, how about a spoiler alert, motherfucker? JK, I've seen it.
You two really have seen a lot of movies.
Even basketball. And now, just as Jessica McClure said several times, well, well, well. Michael Detective, I've been trying to kill you since we came out of the womb. Which is ironic, because our father came into it.
Oh, put that gun down. I want to high-five you so bad right now.
Never! And now, Michael Detective, it's time for your reverse birthday.
I refuse to go back inside Mom's pussy.
Ah, and now I wish I could high-five you. But unfortunately, instead, I'm going to kill you, and there's nothing you can do about it.
I could stop you.
Oh, I didn't think that far ahead. Please don't.
Do I look like a judge to you? I don't want to hear your pleas.
Well, you do look a little like our brother, Mike Judge.
I am so excited Beavis and Butthead is coming back. He's really earned it with all of his hard work over the years.
Yes, we're all very happy for him. But let's get back to you, dear brother. Much like the Pizza Hut coupon in my pocket for a free medium 2-topping pizza, you're about to expire. And then, I'm gonna order a pizza.
Wait, at least let the girls go. They're not part of this.
On the contrary, I had plans to finger bang them after this was all over.
You bastard! That was my plan!
Mike, you never told me you have an evil brother.
Yeah, he's my arch enemy. He's been trying to kill me since we were born. You know how these things go. It's a long, boring story.
One that you shall never tell, my boy. Now, make like a child on Easter and prepare to die.
Wait, don't I deserve one last meal?
I suppose that's only fair. And I do have that Pizza Hut coupon in my pocket.
Great. I'll take a half Hawaiian, half extra cheese. See if they can throw some hot wings in there, too. Ooh, and a 2-liter bottle of Coke.
I think Pizza Hut is owned by Pepsi.
Fine, Pepsi. Actually, make that wild cherry Pepsi. Now, can you read that order back to me?
Why don't you just call it in?
Okay. Oh, hello. I'd like to place an order for delivery. A half Hawaiian, half extra cheese medium pizza with some hot wings and a 2-liter bottle of, You don't have Coke, do you? Uh-huh. Yeah. No, that's what my brother said. All right. A 2-liter bottle of wild cherry Pepsi. We're at the Kelsey Grammer Tawny Notch... Oh, you're watching this on live TV? Gotcha. He said this is outside of their delivery zone.
Well then, I guess I'll kill you now.
Wait, don't I get a last request?
I suppose I could allow that.
Great. My request is, please don't kill me.
That's the request I hear most often. Your request is like the part of the day after the sun has gone down. Denied!
You mean the night?
Sorry, I had a cold when I said those 2 words.
And you don't have a cold now?
My Dayquil just kicked in.
Well, this has been fun, but I'm going to take off.
Wait! I'm still going to kill you!
Fine. Like the American public used to say at 9 p.m. every Tuesday, just shoot me. And as they used to say at 9:02 p.m., this sucks. Get it over with already.
Oh, my dear Mike, I was never going to kill you with this gun. This was just to make sure you don't go anywhere. There's a bomb below the altar, set to go off in 1 minute. Just like Nick Cage, you'll be gone in 60 seconds. And just like gone in 60 seconds, no one will ever think of you ever again.
Hey, I like that one.
Oh no, a bomb! Good thing I'm not at the wedding. I'm recording this voiceover from a bunker underneath the White House. Although with Barack Obama as president, shouldn't it be the Black House? And shouldn't I, on the strength of that joke alone, get my own Def Jam comedy special? Find out if I did next time on the thrilling season finale of Mike Detective.
That joke may have been racist.
It's time for Mike Detective, Unlicensed and Uninsured Private Eye. Episode 14, All Good Things Must Come to a Dead. With special guest Andrew Daly as Mike Villain.
Excellent detective work, brother.
Endings are a tricky business. Some are tragic, some are pleasant, some reveal that everyone's lives are controlled by two ancient weirdos living on an island together. Me, I prefer a happy ending. But every happy ending I've ever encountered involved paying a masseuse $200. Sure, if I had paid $300, I could have gotten a female masseuse. But what am I, made of money? No, I'm only flesh and bone. If I had $300 for every boner I've had, I'd be on the richest men in the world list in Forbes magazine. Instead, I'm on the poorest men in the world list in Pockets Turned Inside Out magazine. And I'm at the top of the list in Guys with Most Boners Quarterly. Okay, here's what we promise we won't do in this ending. We won't do anything bullshit, like say it's all just been a dream. We won't say all the characters are in heaven, and we won't reveal it's all an autistic child's fantasy like Parenthood is surely gonna do. Other than that, it's all like Cindy Crawford's big screen debut and finale. Fair game. And now to recap the entire series. Fuck it. My brother Mike Villain is about to blow us all up with a bomb.
So, Michael Detective, you have a most delicious conundrum. You can follow and attempt to catch me as I make my escape, thus ensuring the death of everyone here. Or you can once again play the hero and attempt to defuse the bomb.
If you have time to get away, why doesn't everyone just leave while I chase after you?
Huh. I never thought of that. Oh, smoke bomb!
Let's get out of here.
We can't. With all this smoke, no one can find the doors.
Oh, no.
Oh, no, a bomb.
A bomb, oh, no.
Oh, a bomb.
Oh.
Mike, can you defuse the bomb?
I may not be able to, but my friend can.
Let me guess. Joe Bomb Expert?
No, my other friend. Let me call him now.
Hi, Mike. Henry Winkler here. I assume you're calling me because you need a bomb defused.
Correctamundo.
Hey, that's my line. I also assume you've already opened the casing plate.
No, I haven't. I don't even know the parts of a bomb.
Part of a bomb? Well, there's Aston Kutcher, Renee Zellweger. It's usually directed by M. Night, that guy. Charlemagne.
That's why I like you. Even though we don't have a second to spare, you never let that get in the way of putting a smile on my face. Now, let's get back to defusing this bomb. If you had made it, where would you put the casing plate?
What do I look like? The producer of Mars Needs Moms? I don't make bombs, I defuse them. Just kidding. It should be on the top, Mike.
Got it. Okay, it's open. There's a red wire, a yellow wire, a lime wire.
That one's illegal.
Which one should I cut?
Mike, the timer says there's only 6 seconds left.
Shut the fuck up, Stephanie. Men are talking.
Okay. This is a very delicate procedure.
Anything. Just tell me what to do.
3 seconds.
Stephanie, what did I say?
You need to grab a big handful of wires. You got them? Rip them all out.
1 second.
Stephanie, stop talking!
Mike, you did it. You defused it.
Someone call M. Night Shyamalan because I've got a bomb for him.
Hey, are you stealing my jokes?
Sorry? Didn't realize you were still on the line. Whoops. Connection's real bad. Yep. Static. Gotta go.
Mike, you did it. You're my hero.
Oh, Stephanie. Unlike CeeLo Green, I'm never going to forget you. But like CeeLo Green, I'm gonna fuck you.
You sure know how to sweet talk a gal.
Are you really only 14?
No, I only said that for the ratings. And like Skins, it may have caused brief headlines, but ultimately led to audience indifference. In other words, it's legal to do me.
Sweet. Tawny, we had fun, but Stephanie's always been the girl for me. Well, other than my girlfriend, who I mentioned in the first episode, the one who poked me while I was sleeping and I said ouch. But I haven't made any attempt at contacting her in months, so I assume that's over.
Do you really think we're safe, Mike?
Perhaps. However, Mike Villain is still out there somewhere. But I get the feeling it's going to be a long time before we see him again.
Forgot my keys.
Shit! Where's my gun?
Another smoke bomb!
Rats! Missed him again. Oh well, next time. With the case of the curious Kelsey caper marked closed. By the way, all those words started with K's. It was quite clever, but you couldn't see it. Stephanie Klein and I returned to my boudoir to get our fuck on. It was like a sexual franchise of In-N-Out Burger, with plenty of In-N-Out, but with only one burger, her fur burger. After what seemed like 3 minutes of passion, we were nothing more than a mess of tangled bodies and sticky fluids. Jizz to the left of me, semen to the right. And there I was, stuck in the middle with her, my one true love, Stephanie Client. We fell asleep in each other's arms and mouths, and slept for the amount of hours that 7, 8, 9. But when we awoke, we were met with quite a surprise.
Mike, wake up!
Huh? Stephanie, what is it?
Mike, look around. We're not in your bedroom anymore. Where are we?
Heaven? Were we in heaven the whole time?
No, all around us, everything is red.
Red everywhere reminds me of Millennium's 1,000-year period. But seriously, where the fuck are we?
Mike, we're in the middle of a barren alien terrain. And look up in the sky. It's a bird. It's a plane. It's Earth.
Oh, you know what that means. I'm back on Mars.
Why have Mike Detective and Stephanie Client been transported to Mars? Which is better, Red Planet or Mission to Mars? Is Mars where they make Mars bars? I can answer that one. Mars bars are where they serve drinks like margaritas. Hold the basalt. Anyway, find out the answers to the other questions on Season 2 of Mike Detective, Unlicensed and Uninsured Space Ranger.
Wait for it, nerds.